What's up, guys? Simply Coco here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another Let's Chat video, and welcome back to the fifth, sixth installment of 31 Days of Halloween. So you're probably looking at the title of this video and thinking, how is a Journey to Batuu review Halloween or October related? I'm reviewing it in October, and that is how it is October related. Clock me in the comments if you want to get hit. Okay, that's I'm kidding. That's all I have to say about it. But and then I also kind of was thinking, well, like Star Wars is sci-fi and fantasy, and you could kind of connect sci-fi and fantasy to Halloween. People dress up as Jedis for Halloween. So that's where we're going with this. And I also just wanted to get this review out because I have recorded 5 Let's Plays doing the playing Journey to Batuu, so I just felt like that was a good number to go ahead and do a review because each one of those parts was like 45 minutes long, except for the 5th part was 35. Excuse me. I also want to sincerely apologize for how unprofessional my first 2 parts of my Let's Play, my Let's Build, has been. Me building Aggie's home, Grandma Aggie's home from Halloween Town. The reason why the game volume is so loud is because I have recorded those 2 videos right after streaming, and when I stream I don't have any like non-copyright background music, so I just let the game music play, and it's not that loud on stream. So then when I go to record the Let's Build, I forget to change the volume levels. So I am really sorry about that. I promise for part 3 it will be better, and I'll just turn off the volume completely, and I'll layer my own music underneath it, like I do for my speed builds. But other than that, I've been talking for 2 minutes, not even about this review. So let's get into that. So I just have a list. It's not a very long list. I just have some bullet points. So I'm just going to go bullet point to bullet point and just give my overall thoughts on each bullet point. And then at the end, I'll give my like overall thoughts of the game packs. So this is all based on gameplay. This has nothing to do with the build and buy objects. This has nothing to do with the fact that I feel like Star Wars isn't a pack that we needed. I'm not going to say anything about how I feel like this is a cash grab for EA. Nothing to do with any of that. It's strictly based on a review based on the gameplay. So I guess you could say gameplay review. So the first bullet point I'm actually going to skip because it's like the biggest thing that I have a problem with. So the second bullet point I have is able to choose moves in Sabak. So Sabak in the game is the game that they gamble. It's like a card game that you can gamble in Journey to Batuu. If you play as a scoundrel, it's like one of the first missions you have to do. You have to play the scoundrel leader in Sabak, and I just felt like that would have made it a little more interesting if you were actually like when you went to play your first game of Sabak, they gave you the instructions on how to play it, right? All this might be too much to ask for and probably not even possible, but this is what I feel like would have made it better. So like your first time going to play Sabak, they give you like actual instructions on how to play the game, and then as your sim is sitting there playing it, it gives you pop-up options of like to say, what move do you want to make next? And it gives you like 3 choices to choose from. And based on your choice, it affects your Sims game. And you could, lose money because you're gambling, or win money, or, whatever. I just felt like when I played Sabak for the first time in the game, I felt like that would have made that small little aspect would have made it a little bit better. Um, Even though I played Sabak that one time and I haven't played it again because I didn't need to. I joined the Resistance and I made money that way by doing their missions, so I didn't really have a reason to play it anymore. But I felt like that was something, and that's probably the smallest thing on this list. Excuse my animals. But that's probably the smallest thing on this list, which is why I'm mentioning it first. But then the next bullet point I have is another really serious thing that I dislike about the game pack, and that's the lack of lots. And this will kind of tie into another bullet point that I have that says how all of the places you go, besides the Katina, the Resistance encampment, and the First Order building, everything else is rabbit holes. So there's only 3 buildable lots um, in the entire world of Batuu. There's only 3 buildable lots, and I know I said I wasn't gonna say anything about the build items, but building is a part of gameplay. If that makes sense, like if you play The Sims, there's 2 ways to play The Sims. Like actually playing with your Sims and building. Like if you just build in The Sims, you're still technically playing the game. Does that make sense? So if all you do is build in The Sims, then Journey to Batuu is useless to you because there's not any lots to build on unless you put in cheats. And then even if you do put in cheats and you build on those lots, there's really you really don't have any artistic freedom. Like you have to put on those lots what's needed to be there, or you can't play the pack. Um, so that sucks. And then also just the simple fact that um, everything else is a rabbit hole. So why couldn't they make? There's 2 places in the Black Spire Outpost that you can go to get food. Why couldn't they make at least one of them like Oga's Cantina that you can actually walk into, and it can be a place to visit, like a little restaurant or a little cafeteria or something? It's literally your sim goes to the building, disappears, and comes out with food. And there's hardly any place to sit and eat it. What? So I don't know. Even if they were gonna make those rabbit holes, they could have at least made it a lot that you could unlock in the free build mode or something. But just the rabbit holes are ridiculous. Um, so the next bullet point is putting the names above people's heads. So I've only played as the Resistance so far, and a little bit of Scoundrel when I first started. But let's say the Resistance gives me a mission to go and talk to a First Order informant. So he's gonna give us some information on the First Order. And it says you can find him in Oga's Cantina. That's fine. I don't care. Yeah, you have to tell me where to go. But once you get there, all you have to do is hover your mouse over the sim. They are a mess. All you have to do is hover your mouse over the sim and it will show who they are. First Order informant or whatever person it is you're looking for. It's going to say their name above their head. All you have to do is hover your mouse over the sim. And I just felt like it would have been a little more interesting if it made you like go and meet somebody. Like you had to go and introduce yourself to this person to see. Like once you introduce yourself to the person, then it popped up who he was over his head, but not before you even met him technically. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like that small little detail would have made the game a little bit more in depth as well and a little more interesting to play, because the whole game pack is literally just you talking to Sims. You literally go and talk to this sim, talk to this sim, talk to this sim. Every now and then you'll have to. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to shut her up because I don't know if you can hear her growling, but she is really bothering me. So I will be right back. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. I don't even remember what I was talking about because she just kind of really made me mad there. Um, I was talking about the names over the people's heads, and how it's kind of like too simple. You, like I was saying, you go and talk to this person, go talk to this person, go talk to this person. Every now and then you have to go to those control panels and splice into those to get into a room. But then once you get into that room, you click on another kind of control panel and get some information. And then once you get that information, you go take that back to someone, and you do that by talking to them. Like, there's no obstacles along the way. I mean, you might get caught, but if you get caught, you just get bumped back to Black Spire Outpost, which takes you through a loading screen, which is another problem in itself that we'll get to towards the end. So it's just kind of like, eh. And that kind of takes me into my next point, just about how all you do is talk to other Sims. And every now and then you might get to fly one of the spaceships, but it's a rabbit hole. Everything's a rabbit hole. I, in my Let's Play of it, I went in the X-Wing one time, maybe twice, and flew around, and all it does, it goes up. The animation of it going up and flying off is cool, but then there's nothing. You're just sitting there waiting on your sim to get back. And then it pops up it pops up like this message that says such and such came across a undiscovered civilization. What should he or she do next? And then you get to choose what they do next, and that affects the storyline, that affects how well you did or whatever. But what I think they should have done, especially if they had all this Disney coin, I feel like what they should have done was made it possible for, once you flew away, it took you into space, and then you used your handy dandy mouse to actually steer your spacecraft. And they could have even made it to where, if you had to battle somebody, you're steering your spacecraft with the mouse, and then if you click the mouse, you're firing shots at someone, and then the cursor of the mouse is how you aim at them. And yeah, that would have been so cool. I don't think anything like that has ever been in The Sims, and it's probably not even possible due to the whatever coding. But if you had all this money from Disney, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about that, but it's just a valid point. Just that alone would have made it so much cooler. Even if we weren't able to actually control the spacecraft, even if it just took us up into outer space and we could actually see what was going on. It could have looked like, how Realm of Magic is it's how in Realm of Magic there's Glimmerbrook. The world that came with Realm of Magic is Glimmerbrook, but then you go to the magical realm. That's what they should have done. They should have had Batuu, and then when you go into the spacecraft, it takes you to space. Even if you can't do anything while you're there, it takes you to space. And maybe there's even more lots up there. I don't know. But that would have made it better. I talked about the food rabbit holes. Okay, last 2 points, and then I'll give my overall thoughts. So, My second to last bullet point is how spaced out everything is. So when you first load into the resistance encampment, you're here. When you first load into the resistance encampment, you're here. Everything everything that you can interact with, every person that you need to talk to in the resistance encampment is over here. Look, let me get them more spaced out. So you start here, but everything you can do or talk to or interact with is over here. So your sim literally has to walk, well, your sim runs over here, and you're just sitting there waiting, like, wait until you get there. Even if you do it on triple speed, it still takes a second for them to get there. And so I like how the world is kind of more open in Batuu, but it's just from point A to point B is kind of like ridiculous. I don't know. They should at least drop you in the middle of the action, but in Resistance Encampment, you're dropped over here, and you have to go way over here. So it's just, that's ridiculous. Even with Black Spiral Outpost, like even when they drop you there, if your sim is sleepy, they have to walk from here all the way over there to get to the little wherever they go and relax and refresh and sleep and stuff in Black Spiral Outpost. If you don't know what I'm talking about because you don't play the pack, and there's nowhere to sleep. I mean, there is, but it's a rabbit hole. It's a building that you click on and you press sleep, relax, freshen up, change Batuu outfit, or plan Batuu outfit, and that's all you can do with that building. You can't go inside the building. If you click sleep, your sim walks up to the doors, disappears inside the building, and then their energy bar just starts going up. If you press freshen up, they go inside the building and their hygiene and their bladder bars go up. That's it. And so that goes back to the rabbit hole problem. Because it's still The Sims. Like, yes, it's Star Wars, but it's still The Sims. So, yes, I want to have a bed that I can click on and I can watch my sim sleep. Because it's still The Sims. I want a shower that I can click on and watch my sim naked ass in the shower. If that's what it's, it's still The Sims. Anyway. And then how spaced out everything is, that just kind of takes me to my last bigger point of the freaking loading screens. This is by far the worst part of this. Sorry, this is by far, it's uneven, y'all. This is by far the worst pack. I mean, the worst part of this pack is the loading screens. Because I have done mostly resistance missions. So I start in the resistance encampment. The resistance may tell me to go and talk to somebody in Black Spiral Outposts. So then I'll have to go through a loading screen to get there. And then the person at Black Spiral Outpost will say, you need to go get this information from the hologram table in the First Order District. So then you got to go to the First Order District, get something off the hologram table. Then you got to then when you get the information off the hologram table, then the notification might say, okay, now you have to take this back to the informant, and they will give you the real information you're looking for. So then you go from First Order District back to Black Spiral Outpost, talk to this person, they give you the information you need, and then you have to report it back to the person in the resistance encampment. So then you got to go over there, which is another loading screen. So it's just loading screen after loading screen after loading screen after loading screen after loading screen. And if you have a low-end computer, I can't even imagine you playing this pack if you have a low-end computer. Just don't even do it, because there's too many loading screens. There's no lots in this world, and so I think that makes the load, like, there's 0 lots. Like, you have to travel with a sim to this lot in order to go to the world, because there's no lots to click on from map view. None. 0. So I think the fact that there's no lots and the fact that everything's a rabbit hole, and everything's just a shell or background decoration, the loading screens are fairly quick. They last maybe less than a minute, less than 60 seconds, but still going from loading screen to loading screen to loading screen is absolutely ridiculous. I would have preferred it if all of Batuu was an open world and your sim had to run from the first order district to the resistance encampment. I don't know. Maybe a loading screen is faster than that. I don't know. I just don't like the idea of loading screen after loading screen after loading screen. And like I said, if you have a low end computer that already has trouble running the Sims, and if it takes you a 5 minute loading screen just to go from playing in your house and then sending one of your Sims on a date, then it's going to take too long for you to play Journey to Batuu. I have a G5 Dell gaming computer. If that means anything to you, it doesn't mean anything to me. I just know it's a gaming computer. I don't know any kind of specs or anything like that. I just know it works. So, yeah. But my overall feeling of the pack, I don't hate it. The bullet points the things that I named off are literally my only things that are wrong with it. I have not gotten bored with it yet. If I'm being completely honest, I haven't gotten bored with it yet. There are the things that I named are things that annoy me about the pack, but I haven't gotten bored with it yet. I'm sure a few more missions in and I will. Sorry, she had cocktail sauce. I'm sure I will get bored of the pack eventually, especially once I've done all the missions, but I'm not bored with it yet. I do actually have fun. If I was sitting here just playing it and not recording it though, and like talking to you guys as I'm playing it, it wouldn't be as fun. So if you're like not a content creator and you don't do Sims YouTube videos, then you just sitting at home alone playing Journey to Batuu might not be that fun for you. But like I said, I haven't gotten bored yet. It's just these things that I've named off are things that annoy me. As far as the good things about the pack, the missions they're good. There's a lot of missions. They do say that they have over 50. But I mean, I don't know if they have over 50 overall or like 50 resistance missions, 50 scoundrel missions, 50 first order missions. I don't know. But the amount of missions, but even with the amount of missions, there's still not a whole lot. Like, there's going to be no replay value. And that's kind of like what kills it right there, is the fact that there's no replay value. Like, not a lot of people like Strangerville, and this is kind of the same thing. It's the same thing other than the fact that there's different routes you can take. Strangerville was like a one line thing. Your whole goal was to defeat that damn mother plant. But with this, you can be a scoundrel and try and get, at the highest rank of that. You can be a resistance member, be at the highest rank of that, or first order member and be at the highest rank of that, and then so on and so forth. Complete the 50 missions, however long that takes, and then boom. Sorry, I heard a iPhone alarm and my phone's right here and it wasn't going off, so I was really confused what I was hearing. But anyway, guys, that's my thoughts. This video came up to be a lot longer than I expected it to be, so I'm gonna go. I will see you tomorrow, hopefully, for the next installment of 31 Days of Halloween. And I will see you all then. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll always respond to your comments. And please hit that notification bell. That way you know exactly when I post my next video, exactly when I post it. And I will see you all then. And please follow me on Twitch. That is twitch.com/simplycoco94. And I will see you all later. Bye.